Hello ladies and gentlemen, once again this is Jeremy Smith, Photog J the Great. Today we're going to be looking at something a little bit different. Normally I don't really review many point and shoot cameras at all unless they're more advanced. But today, because this camera is so unique, I wanted to take a closer look at it. This interesting device that everyone keeps mistaking for an SLR lens of some sort is actually the Sony QX10. This is a small point and shoot camera and it's basically designed to work on a smartphone. So basically, if you use your smartphone for photography a lot, you can take this small device and you can attach it to the back of your smartphone, and basically it gives you a 10 times zoom and a 20 megapixel sensor. So this is actually a camera. This isn't just like an accessory lens. It doesn't interact with your device's camera at all. This is a complete standalone device, and it basically connects to your phone by either near field communication or by Wi-Fi. So very, very interesting device. This is the, as I mentioned, this is the QX10. Sony, they also make a higher end version of this camera that hopefully I'll get my hands on later on as well. And that other one is called the QX100. And it's actually basically just a Sony RX100, but in this type of form factor. It has the same one-inch sensor as the RX100 and the same 28 to 100 millimeter effective Zeiss lens. This camera is kind of like the Sony WX150 point and shoot camera. So yeah, the specs on this and that camera are pretty much identical. Just like the WX150, this camera also has an 18 megapixel 1 and 2.3 inch backside illuminated CMOS sensor. So definitely not, up to the level of image quality that we would expect with some of the higher end point and shoot cameras and DSLRs that I typically review. But it's going to be a lot better than what's found on most smartphones. And let's see here, of course, this is the big thing to me, the fact that you can actually zoom. On smartphones, you don't have any type of optical zoom, at least not on most of them. And this actually gives you a 10 times zoom. It's a 25 to 250 millimeter equivalent in 35 millimeter terms. So you've got a pretty impressive zoom range here. Even the battery life is very similar to the WX150. You get about 200 shots per charge. Unfortunately, the smartphone's battery is also affected, but more about that later on. And this actually uses its own memory slot as well. This can take either micro SD cards, or it can take the memory stick micro as well. So a pretty cool device. The camera industry is going absolutely insane this year. I have no idea. Sony has come out with a lot of innovative products, and this one right here I actually like. I mean, I pride them on their innovation. But anyways, enough talk. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at this. Okay, so taking a closer look at this device, definitely a very unique looking device. Of course, lens right here at the front. And this camera, it actually can be used without a smartphone. You can actually take some photos without it, or without having to have it attached to the smartphone rather. And that's something that I did try. More about that in a moment though. So yeah, on this side we have our telephoto and wide angle here for our zoom. We have a shutter button right below here. Power button is located at the top. So this powers on like that. Over on this side, we do have a small LCD screen, and as you guys can see, that just kind of, basically just shows your battery life, is all that does. Right here there's a release button, and that actually releases the camera from this little holder. the holder folds out like this, and it just has some little spring-loaded arms here, or a spring-loaded arm here at the top that slides up and down, and that's basically how this gets attached to your device. There's some soft rubber in here so it won't scratch the sides of your device, and it seems to hold very, very steady. This right here, this little release on this side, allows you to unlock like this, and that way you can actually leave this on your device and still kind of quickly take the camera on and off. And yeah, you can see it's a little bit of a fingerprint magnet. Little near-field communication logo at the top. Back here we have our battery and memory card slot. So that just opens like that. And it takes a in-style Sony battery. Inside here you'll also see that there's a little sticker for your Wi-Fi passcode, which is also on a little sticker inside the box that the camera comes with as well. And then down here we have our card slot, where our micro SD or micro memory stick card goes. Okay, so let's attach this to the phone and see how this works. Okay, so basically when attaching this, there's a little arrow right here to show you the upside of it. And also when this comes out, there's a little Sony logo up here at the top. That's another way you can tell this is the top part of it. And of course, as I showed you before, those fold down for storage. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and attach this to my iPhone 4S. Put it in there. This kind of slides like that, and that way, you know, you can kind of move this around a little bit. As I said, there's rubber back there, so it doesn't really scratch your device or anything. It's fairly steady, as you can see. I mean, you can move it around a little bit, but it's not like it's going to fall off there or anything. And once that's on, the camera bayonets onto the little adapter, kind of like an SLR lens onto a camera. So that's how that works. So we'll go ahead and power her on here. There we go. A little bit of a lag there, perceptible, that I noticed. Let's see here. Okay, so then you're in your device here. And we turn on our Wi-Fi. We can find our Sony device, and of course you'd put in your passcode and everything. But since I've already set that up, it will go ahead and connect. Then we'll just load our Sony app here. Play memories. There we go. And the app will then connect to your device. And there you have it. Let's see, get this focused so you guys can kind of see here. Okay, so interesting thing about this is you can actually control your zoom. You can either control your zoom on your on your phone's touchscreen, or you can actually use these zoom buttons here. I think it would have been kind of cool if they'd put a built-in flash on this. That would have been kind of neat, I think. Not sure why they didn't, but anyways. You can have it transfer the photos to your phone as well. But of course, regardless, it's going to actually save it on the device's memory card. Yeah, you are kind of limited in what you can actually do. And the good news is, though, this is all powered through Sony's app, so perhaps in the future they'll give us some more options that we can do with this. I don't know, maybe they'll add some more modes. I'm not really sure if the QX10 has more manual settings or not. I'll just have to wait until I get my hands on that. But of course I don't expect that on this device, since it's essentially more of the, it's basically the more point and shoot device of the two. So you can basically you have a few things you can change here. You can have it automatically copy the photos to your device. Let's see, I think I have it turned off right now. But if that's turned on, so then we can see the photos that I've taken. You can see some of my photos that are actually on here, and we could transfer them. So pretty cool there. On the copy size, 2 megapixel or VGA or original, so we can actually change the size of that, which is pretty neat. Go back. Oh, it's warning me that the lens is getting ready to extend again. And so what else do we have in here? We have our white balance, our self timer. I can change my still image size, the auto review, and of course if save images is on. It's actually the option I thought I was at a moment ago. Whenever I take a photograph, it will automatically save it to my phone. And you can tell that we get the little note that tells us that it's been resized. But of course in the previous menu I just showed you guys, you could go in there and you could actually have it transfer the full 20 megapixel image. Okay, so review, save, size of review image, beep of connected device, and we can format the memory. So pretty basic settings here. Maybe in the future Sony will give us more options. We can touch over there. We've got program auto, we've got intelligent auto, and then superior auto. So yeah, that's about it actually. So kind of sparse on settings actually, but oh well. I am going to do a little bit more shooting with this device. It's certainly an interesting gadget. It looks kind of strange on your phone. This is one of those devices that's very innovative right now at the present time, but I guarantee you, like 5 years from now, we are all going to be laughing our butts off at this thing. But hey, you know, that's how innovation happens. Sometimes, you know, it's a little bit strange in its first iteration, but this does. I mean, it's something that could be interesting in the future. One last thing I'll point out to you, though, that I forgot about earlier, is that there is a little tripod socket on the bottom of this too, which I thought was kind of neat. I'm going to put some links to the, or a link to the sample photos in the description. Definitely take a look at those, and I'll no doubt be playing with this a little bit more. And of course, I'll also be playing with the QX10 if I get my hands on it as well, so look out for any future videos on that. If you have any questions or comments, write me in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and until next time, this is Jeremy Smith, Photog J the Great, signing off.